all of the news stories done and dusted. It's time for Hots and Knots. We've trailed towards this all show because we wanted to talk about F175 live. I think, Josh, what we'll do is we'll do F175 as one half of Hots and Knots and then do the rest. I think that's probably an idea. I think we would probably combine Hots and Knots together for this, can't we?
Yeah, it's pretty much easy for this bit with F1, isn't it? Go on, you can go first because mine's going to be here all day.
Concept tick. Knowledgeable crowd tick. To Ed's point earlier about it being celebrity and all that kind of thing, it wasn't for us. It wasn't for us. So, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was going to be awful, but actually it wasn't too bad.
I liked it.
The only we really got to pick fault with the production. They left Martin Brundle's microphone turned on after the McLaren bit when they should have turned it off.
Did they? What did he say?
Walking off the stage, he went, "Oh, that went well, didn't it?" Like, or we nailed that, or something along those lines when he still had his mic on. Social media will probably say all season now that Martin is biased towards McLaren because he did their launch.
Martin drove for them, so
he did. Yeah, he was on their table, along with Damon Hill. I think was on that table too.
Yeah, Jill was there.
Along with all the other legends.
The legends, including then as well, Jean Alesi and David Coulthard.
Jean Alesi, yes,
massive world champions, and you've got Jean Alesi and David Coulthard. It's like, two of these things don't belong at this very table. Which one's which?
I said about Sauber, I thought their livery was cool. V-Carb. Should we talk about V-Carb?
Let's talk about V-Carb because it's a knot, isn't it?
The livery's good, but other than that,
great.
And it's not Isaac Hadjar.
Yeah, what is it?
It's Isaac Hadjar. That's what Alex Jakes has always said. I'm going with Isaac Hadjar.
Isaac Hadjar.
They were calling it, unless he's decided to change the name or change the pronunciation of his name to everybody. But it just caught my ear that they were calling him Isaac rather than.
Oh, okay. I'll have to.
But the whole name thing, the drumming in of the name thing, was a bit pointless.
That's only because they told Yuki that he's. Yeah, they said last year to Yuki, "Oh, you're going to be with RB next year," and he thought, "Red Bull, fantastic!" no, Yuki, you're going to be with Visa Cash Up RB. And he went, "Oh, right." And it was then they went, "Yeah, we need to change the name. This is getting ridiculous." So it's what it's been. Have I got proof actually?
While you're searching for that, another cool thing, I quite enjoyed that the rookies, and there is a crop of them, of course, that the rookies get to do that as their first sort of F1 proper thing. Your Bortoletto, Behrman, Hadjar of the world. Their first exposure to the world as an F1 driver was at the O2 in front of all those people and the big TV audience, which I thought was kind of cool for them.
That one just says Rab. Hang on.
Rab.
Here we go. Pit lane map from Abu Dhabi. I'll hold it up. Rab, but next to it, it says Racing Bulls. So it was on the official FIA entry list of the pit lane last year. It was Racing Bulls, which means it's always been Racing Bulls. So RB
will probably continue to be that too.
Yeah.
I would have thought.
I mean, what? That was weird. I hit the mic, sorry. But I knew I had it somewhere. Last year it was V-Carb, but it was Racing Bulls. It's always Racing Bulls.
Or just RB.
Yeah. Do we speak about now what we have basically what we've done is we've shot the Duke. That's what we've done. That's what we've done. We've shot the Duke. And we're now in a war because, yes, Mohammed Ben Stupid Face, as I would now be referred to him as, because everybody seems to hate him. He's banned this swearing lark across the whole of the FIA, not just Formula One, every sport. Matt's going to get onto that later. Mm-hmm. So what does FOM do at the first opportunity? They take the mick. And they get
the bear here.
Yeah, they get the most notoriously well-known swearer on the planet to swear and cut the mic off. I mean, come on. We knew that was coming. We knew that was happening. So what we now have is FOM declaring open war with the FIA. That was first blood. We've shot the Duke, ladies and gentlemen. I can't wait to see what this year's going to bring.
Yeah, interesting. And the whole of that Jack Whitehall's sort of preamble at the beginning, before we saw the Sauber car come out, was kind of based around the Max and George beef from the end of last season. And
no swearing, of course.
The swearing stuff. So interesting that they would continue to bring it up when everybody's laughing at it and them being the FIA. And that happened.
And Christian, they did Christian and Max.
Yeah, they did. Right. That was my next point. Was Red Bull? We talked about VCARB. It's a good job that we didn't. This wasn't next year, and it's a brand new car. Because did anyone else catch a glimpse of the 2025 Red Bull? The car.
It looked shocking.
They didn't talk to the only drivers that didn't get talked to by their team principal or someone interviewing them at the end of the stage. And we barely saw the car.
No, hardly.
The car culture video was just the truck driving from. I mean, it got from Milton Keynes to London very quickly.
Yeah, to be fair,
the M1 must have been very clear.
Yeah, I did think, my friend, when it was leaving and everyone was going, "Oh, I can see the truck," I did think, "Has Matt White written this bit?"
It's Tilbrook. I know where that roundabout is.
Exactly. And when it got to the lights, I thought,
yesterday.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Suddenly, it was on Tower Bridge.
So you don't live in London.
Milton Keynes represent. But yeah, I don't know. That was a bit silly. As I said earlier, Lewis in red is still jarring. But they've had the car out, haven't they, today at Fiorano? So they're already full steam ahead with Charles and Lewis, and of course, as reported through, I think it was Autosport tweeted it or Facebooked it earlier on today. Charles is 3-2 up in the game of the really important battle of the season, which is Lewis versus Charles at chess.
It's good, isn't it? They were playing yesterday on the phone.
My other not was Brian Tyler, his DJ set for Alpine. I like my dance music. I like my house music. Just because that was plugged in and the lights were flashing doesn't mean it was doing anything. And it went on for far too long. Breaking news again. A reminder across the bottom of the screen: Chase Briscoe penalty from Daytona. Joe Gibbs Racing are appealing said penalty as expected. So that's just come out while we've been gossiping.
I mean that DJ set. Nobody knew it was Brian. We didn't know.
Actually, we side hustle by the looks of Google. I checked earlier on.
And the image that's going to be burned into my brain full of time is Flavio Briatore with the lights on, looking like he's high as a kite in the middle of a nightclub, going. It was hilarious with the glasses on as well. It was fantastic. I mean, it's meme quality city. I think we're going to see that a while. But
I didn't like the Aston Martin Bond stuff.
It didn't work without a Bond, and he's currently, Bond's currently.
Well, indeed, and the potential Bond was there. Of course, Idris Elba was in the audience. So
no, Martin Brundle.
Martin Brundle, sorry. As a concept, thought it actually was good, and they've got something to build on to do it again next year if it's at the O2 or elsewhere, I guess.
Yeah, let what Red Bull did. Let the fans stream it. I had it on Twitch only. It really annoyed me.
But it got lots of traction, so that's what they wanted out of it, I guess.
Right. I haven't got a Danica knot. She hasn't done much. Sorry. There you go. There's Danica. I haven't got a knot, but there's her bingo card for this week. She's kept quiet. She must be hibernating with, she's due to hatch soon. Nearly time for the spring. What's hot? Repco Supercar season opener. Helio finished the top 5 in the ARCA race at Daytona. Cletus McFarlane in the ARCA booth. The F1 season around the bend. Yeah, it looks quite good coming up. But that's my not of the week. A certain Helio Casneves, who had not a baptism of fire. He had an absolute witch burning happen to him at the weekend. They destroyed him, and that was unfair. He could not get a break. Poor Helio.
Yeah, it was. I think he was a bit unlucky to get caught up in his accident in the duel on Thursday. But I mean, that ARCA race, I was following it on Twitter on Saturday afternoon. My goodness me. They got what Fox wanted. It had over 1 million people watch it on Fox on Saturday. But what an absolute cluster of a race
Careful.
Castroneves getting wrecked after the checkered flag by someone that hadn't realised that the race had finished.
You were nearly 10,000 downs there, my friend. You nearly.
No, I was close. More on that in a second.
If anybody on this team does swear live on air, by the way, we are going to be keeping a separate chart with $10,000 and see who ranks up the most at the end of the year.
Joe's swear jar going on.
That's quite funny, actually.
Should we talk about swearing? Before I go back to Daytona, let's talk about swearing. Adrian Formo at Rally Sweden at the weekend. He made a mistake, which he owned up to at the end of the stage by he didn't have his helmet strap tightened up properly and had to stop in the stage, tighten his helmet, and probably cost himself a podium in the overall grand scheme of things. And he got to the end of the stage. They asked him what happened, and he just said, "I bleeped up." And now he's bleeped up even worse because he's now got to pay $50,000 for his troubles. First person to be hit with the money fine from the FIA. He even beat Dan Tinkton to the punch, which I was very, very surprised at.
Dan get away with it as well for swearing in Saudi? How did he get away with it? I'm going to say this right now. There will be 2 presidents who won't reach the end of their presidency at this rate. I cannot see this continuing. The FIA is very quickly becoming a joke. And I am fearing that we're going to start seeing people say, goodbye, we don't need you. The World Championships can run the World Championships themselves. If the FIA lose the respect of the series they cover, if all the series leaves, the FIA can't afford to start fresh championships. They're not allowed to. The only reason it's called the FIA World Endurance Championship, the FIA World Rally, FIA Formula 1 is because those series pay the FIA to run the series. They could very easily ask any other motorsport organization to run those championships, or dare I say, form their own.
Well, indeed. And there's plenty of people that have worked for the FIA that are now out of a job that could then go and work for Formula One, for instance.
It's not that hard.
No, it's not.
It's interesting.
It's going to be a very interesting year.
The Formula 1 World Championship, of course, is that title, and the title of World Championship. You have to pay the FIA $8 million a year to get it, but it's owned by Formula 1. And so it would be still a World Championship. The FIA, in many regards, are at risk of becoming pointless. So, yeah, that's going to be an interesting year. But as always, Mohammed Ben Sulayem is the biggest knot of the week.
I have one more, which is we need to do something about the NASCAR schedule.
It's too long.
Time. No. But it is. We have to, and if anyone says that the global weather patterns are not changing and global warming is not a thing, just look at the last few years of the Daytona 500 in the second week or third week of February. It's just puddles and rain, showers and thunderstorms and wind and all sorts. If you're going to have that race in this portion of the calendar, can we put it in April, please? Something needs to happen. Because I know they got massive numbers on Fox on Sunday because it got pushed to prime time, and that's great for them. Yeah, we got 10 laps in before that caution. They moved it forward an hour, and we still only got 10 laps in. Yeah, when Trump was there too. As Mr. Owen said on our very small portion of actual commentating on the race, because as the race got stopped at Daytona, Mr. Jones's power went out at his house. So we got taken straight off the air because he had a power cut for some time.
Nobody texted me. What, I could have taken over for you.
No, well, we were all, there was nothing to talk about, was there? So, so Matt and Jackson jumped back in to finish the race, and I only got to commentate on 10 laps. So I'm looking forward to the weekend because that means I might get to do a full race, which is quite exciting.
Might. You said might. What's going with this weather now?
No, just something will happen, won't it?
Oh.
Much like last season, the weather follows the Cup Series trucks around the country. So
JT has now got a weather page on our system, by the way, with the radar. That's how much we've anticipated it for this year.
It's raining outside the booth now. It's just started as I sit here too. So maybe the gods are listening.
Oh dear, it's going to be interesting. What's not the bottom of the NASCAR Cup Series? Ryan Preece for Daytona. Oh yeah. How did he do it twice?
Yeah. Shame that car wasn't a Trackhouse car, really, because then it would have looked like a MotoGP bike with its big wheelie that it did. Scary crash, really scary crash. Also, not was the non. I guess Ben and Brandon covered this on Encore, but the non-throwing of the yellow, I thought was
that was ridiculous
at the end of the race. And also, they probably I was expecting them to throw the yellow for Riley Herb's spin through the grass as they took the white flag.
Yeah,
that what a save that was, by the way. Enjoyable race all round, but as normal, as Denny said on his podcast, if you haven't heard that this week, just we line up for 200 miles and after 170 everyone loses their minds. So that happened yet again at the weekend, and will continue to happen.
I was 2 corners away from a pick a winner point with Denny Hamlin. So close. I regretted that choice after, what was it, the second red flag? He was right at the bottom, wasn't he?
Yeah, he had the incident in turn 2,
Yeah, so I was regretting my choice, and then he fought back to win. I'm out of hots and knots.
Yeah, I think I am too. Big weekend coming up then in Atlanta, supercars and superbike from Phillip Island as well. The knot of that going into the weekend is that Johnny Ray's broken his wrist.
And they have to do a mandatory pit stop, let's not forget.
Oh, and they have to do the mandatory pit stop. We talked about that a few weeks ago, didn't we? That they've got mandatory pit stops in the 2 long races at the weekend because Pirelli can't make a tyre go race distance. Where have we heard that before?